We have lost an amazing man, but heaven gained an amazing man.
Those are the heartfelt words from the pastor of former Rapides Parish Sheriff William Earl Hilton. And R.J. McCauley spoke with him earlier this morning as Central Louisiana continues to mourn. Jay's with us here live outside of the church where visitation is underway. Jay, what are you seeing right now?
Rob, I'm seeing what you expect. People are coming out here to support, the Hilton family as the sheriff has passed on Monday. So if you look right here, you see people have lined up. I've seen multiple elected officials come out here. The mayor of Ball, Gail Wilking, has come out here. Former Pineville Mayor Rich Dupree has come out here. And as you mentioned earlier this morning, I did speak with the sheriff's former pastor, and here's what he had to say about his friend.
We've been friends, since probably high school. We're the same age. I think we're 2 months apart.
Homewood Baptist Church Pastor Jimmy Kuhn says former Rapides Parish Sheriff William Earl Hilton and his wife Billy joined his congregation 14 years ago.
And our sadness is for us. I hurt for Billy. You think about those that are left, and that's what our heart was hurting for.
Pastor Kuntz is remembering former Sheriff Hilton as a man of faith.
He just had one of those personalities that was calming. I've never seen anybody that wanted to help others quite like him. His compassion was so great, he always was available. It just was awesome.
Pastor Kuntz will be one of the speakers during Friday's funeral service. He has a message of healing for everyone still coping with this tragic loss.
I choose not to look at it in the lens of evil and what happened, which was terribly evil and wicked. We pray for the one who did this. We pray that, a changed heart, because Jesus died for us all. Trust God, have faith in him, and no matter what the circumstance, he's going to always be there for you, and he will help you see the light, and that light is what shines through, for Jesus.
Who paid their respects to the former sheriff. So you'll be hearing that at 6 o'clock. Now, visitation here at the church is going on until 8 p.m. And there's another one for tomorrow before the noon service. So you have plenty of time to come out here and pay your respects to the sheriff. But for now, reporting live for News Channel 5, Jay McKelly, Rob.
Thanks, Jay. In this statewide tribute today, Governor Jeff Landry said, quote, as an expression of respect and to honor Sheriff William Earl Hilton, the flags of the United States and the state of Louisiana shall be flown at half-staff over the state capitol and all state buildings from sunrise to sunset tomorrow.